on stuff. We were Royce mode, which then made me want to check in on Royce.
Yeah, let's see what. Yeah, I mean, a nice Opie Noland back to back, the two really most hated people.
Well, anyway, tonight we're
All right, who we got here? Who we got here? We got Royce.
We got Canadian Hit.
We got Novus Nick.
Novus Nick is fucking Nolan's number one enemy. These guys are absolutely enemies. Mike Zero, thank you for the 100 bits. Says Mikey, 2 terabyte hard drive when. I'm not sure what that means.
I think we're gonna call him. He's not Canadian Hitler anymore. He did grow his goatee out, so now he's who's a good Canadian Chuck Todd. He's
Canadian
Chuck Todd.
Okay, Canadian Chuck Todd. No,
You want to see Chuck Todd?
Novus Nick is not new. Novus Nick has been on the last few. He is absolutely like the rival of Noland. You can see it. It's like it's just under the surface.
Canadian Gervais. He's now Canadian Gervais.
He's Canadian Gervais.
Yeah,
brutal. That's actually that's pretty much a lateral move as far as I am concerned.
We're going to be talking about the rock band The Who, okay? And
wait, The Who?
There's so much to say.
What
this
band are we talking about? The band.
The Who. It's The Who, the band.
Wait, the band?
Who?
Sorry, that was one of our comedy routines we've been working on for a while, Bryan and I. As you can tell, we're gearing up to do some live comedy here, improv, stand-up. Yeah.
A lot of stand-up. I'm going to do mostly stand-up.
We just have to find a venue. I did send an email to a venue in Toronto about
and they said, eat shit, you piece of shit, because
they thought they listened to some of the episodes and they didn't like it. They didn't
think we were funny.
They didn't think we were funny. They didn't think the show was good. They thought that I talk too much. My jokes aren't funny. Brian is
this guy's edgy.
They said Brian's too edgy. I just want to say, by the way, I did want to mention my New Year's resolution. Bryan, I don't know if you have New Year's resolution.
What's yours?
My New Year's resolution: change my personality so that I can impress all of the haters and change all of their minds in the new year. 2025, I'm going to change everything about myself so that every single person who's ever been critical of me will now have to eat their words. So if you have, I feel sorry for you because you're going to have a bad year.
My New Year's resolution is to pretend to smoke when I'm doing my comedy. Hey, pole fire. Hey, they say there's a pole fire down the street. I must be having sex right now.
Yeah. You can do cigarettes you just don't light them.
Not me. Not fucking me, brother. You put one of those things in my mouth and I'm lighting it and smoking it, and then for 2 more years I'll keep doing it. I came close in Canada.
To what?
So long.
Because when I perform, I like to smoke cigarette. What I like to do before I go on stage is just stand in an alley and smoke cigarette.
Yeah.
It makes me feel cool in a way.
Yeah. It is cool. Yeah. Producer Dan was smoking cigarettes. Definitely. Before the show, I was standing outside with Dan. He was smoking cigarettes and I was hitting my vape.
Yeah, I wanted to, but I can't because I don't want to smoke.
Yeah, Dan and I were in the alley. We were out there a lot in the alley.
But I can do this. It's a pole fire down the street, Citizen says it on my phone. My stepmom's dying.
What?
I don't know. I just kind of throwing lines out there.
That's on your Citizen app? Was she popular in the community? Or I'm really unpopular?
Dramatic smoke.
Bryan, but we got off this topic. What would we have to do to honestly get you to go do 5 minutes and film it for the Patreon, so that we could put up a set? I think you wouldn't mind doing it, right?
No.
we could come up with some jokes like together for you, like, you know what I mean? Like on stream, we could sort of write a routine for you. That would be kind of fun, I think.
I'm not worried about like bombing or anything.
Yeah. You're a good performer. Yeah.
Hey, says here on my phone, we got to do the Citizen app one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me give that some thought because I will do it. I will do it. I mean, I would rather sort of do it if, like, I don't know, if you were here and you were the one filming it.
That would be
rather than,
fun.
Like,
if I come,
my wife come with me or my daughter come with me because I don't have anybody else that would.
Yeah, when I come to town, I'm gonna come to town. We could also do it.
Well, that's gonna be crazy. We're gonna go fucking bonkers.
What? Like in what way?
We're gonna paint the town red. They're like, oh shit! Everybody be warned. Chris James is coming into Columbus this week. It's a big deal when somebody from another city comes here.
I mean, I'm pretty low key these days. You know what I mean? I don't really do a whole
Not
lot.
when I'm here, baby.
I don't drink. I don't really do any drugs other than a little bit of marijuana, and I don't really do a lot of partying. Into bed early, so sorry to.
We could do pills, skull poop. I'll see if I can get some.
I'm not interested in pills. I don't take pills currently, and I'm not interested in starting. It's not something that's like, hey, you know what? I'm 40 with a kid. It's good. Let's pick up pills.
No, that's when I stopped.
Yeah, of course.
Doing them daily, of course.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, you gotta cut down on the pills.
Yeah, we'll do.
I didn't do any for like 3 years, but yeah, when Chris makes his way here, and he is gonna come here.
I have my birth certificate, so I had no identification whatsoever.
Cool.
I had to get my birth certificate so I can get my identification, so I can get my passport, and so I got that going now. So I'll have it very soon because I think we might meet up in Portland as well, right? There's a chance.
That's the hope. Yeah, my family really hopes that happens.
I think we're gonna do it.
On the other hand, I could do without.
Yeah, Bryan. Interesting way Bryan asked me to meet up in Portland. Is he said we're going to Portland, I don't know, whenever, in February or something, right? Maybe March, and you're like, and he's like, Katie and Gwen really want you guys to come.
Okay, I do too.
Uh-huh.
But I can't sound desperate to have friends.
Yeah.
So I don't want to.
I understand.
I'd love you to come. I'm saying it. But
I don't
not
think
on the
Portland
official
sucks.
grounds in here. Hey, everybody, I'm staying in downtown Portland. You can't stop me because I already rented a room.
Do not stay in downtown. Do not do it. I mean, that's ridiculous. You'll be fine.
Fine.
You'll be fine. That's crazy.
Nice hotel, man.
Yeah. You'll be great. Don't worry.
A fucking 5-star hotel up in that.
Over 50 years, they've been one of the most creative, dynamic, popular, constantly interesting bands to emerge from
hang on.
British in the 60s,
Sorry.
Okay,
So we're getting conflicting reports here because one person says there's just nothing to do downtown, but then someone else says last time I stayed there I got stabbed. So which is it? Is there nothing to do? Is there nothing to do, or is there a lot of action?
It's not a big deal because why does Novus Nick look like he's crying? You're right.
He always looks like he's crying. But he always looks like he's crying because he's losing the battle to Nolan. He's losing. He knows it. Nolan has all the power.
He looks like crying Jordan.
He'll get on top. He'll get on top again, though. I believe in Novus Nick. You guys wait. He's a fighter. He's a fighter. He's a fighter.
I believe in Novus Nick.
I believe.
No, I'm not. Here's the thing about
the guys. I forgot that guy's name is literally Chris Elliott. It's so good.
I'm staying in downtown because I stay downtown everywhere. There's no good hotels anywhere else, so it's just gonna happen.
Rock band formed in London in 1964. Their lineup from 64, let's say, to 78 consisted of lead vocalist Roger Daltrey, lead guitarist Pete Townsend, bassist John Entwistle, and the amazing drummer Keith Moon. Now,
Moon
every time I
legend.
see a list of the best drummers of all time, there's always 4 names that show up.
Who?
Keith Moon, John Bonham, Neil Peart, and Ginger Baker, and not
David Silveria.
And
necessarily in that order.
who's that? Corn or Limp
He
Bizkit?
played drums for Korn. Bryan from Prime.
What instrument does the monkey bang away on?
Well, first of all, he plays the guitar, 7-string Ibanez.
He plays a 7-string.
Yep, 1 extra string.
Very cool.
Because it's like makes it heavier.
Yeah. It makes it like harder.
Roar!
Yeah.
That's what I sound like when I
Order. They'll switch around a little bit. I don't know about the rest of you guys. I actually would like to hear from you. I
Me too.
will always put John Bonham at the very top. I can't help myself. After that,
I can't either.
After that, it would probably be
When I'm making a
Keith
list of
Moon.
drummers, I simply can't help myself when it comes to putting Bonham on top. Michael is so tuned out. He's not even looking.
He's
at the camera. He's like doing some other shit, but he's wearing his like bondage fucking leather outfit.
He's wearing his bondage shirt again.
He's wearing his leather bondage.
Ginger Baker, and then Neil Peart.
I gotta see.
How would you rank them, Michael?
Neil Peart wouldn't be in my top 5, first of all, but he'd be in my top 10.
The way he looked up, he's fucking always ready to give a drummer. He's always ready to give a list of
Buddy.
5.
That is such a fucking dope way of saying it, because he's just like, idiot. Neil Peart wouldn't be in my top 5, and the guy's got to feel really stupid for a second. Like, oh, I must have picked a bad guy, and he's like, he would be in my top 10. Like, oh, so you just barely disagree with me. All right, yeah, he's really sweet. Yeah, he's number 6. He's not number 6
because he'd say he's top 6.
No, he's number 6. He's in his top 10, just not his top 5. Brian, he's number 6.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, he's number 6.
Yeah, well,
Chris
careful
Elliott's
there.
room is decorated really funny.
Careful there, because that's kind of. I bet Bryan has rooms decorated that way, so be careful when you say that type of stuff.
John Bonham, number 1. Keith Moon, absolutely. Number 2, who was the? Baker would probably be about number 5 for me.
Would he be that low? Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
okay, because we're going to be talking about this a couple of times tonight.
No, I know.
Okay, so
listen to Roy's voice is like, no, Michael, I know, I'm sorry, Michael, I know, I'm sorry, man. I know, I'm sorry. Like, can we just? I'm trying to. This is my stream, Michael. You always do this. We all agreed that, like, basically what's going to happen in the end is, okay, so you've got Canadian Gervais, aka Chris Elliott from Cabin Boy.
Disgusted currently, by the way. Like, he looks like he wouldn't piss on Michael if he was on fire. His face looks so angry right now.
Yeah, he's like a secondary character, though. The real conflict is happening between Novice Nick and Michael Noland, and then like Royce in the house is like his nice friend who is gonna come out on top in the end. You know what I mean?
I love the idea that Royce in the house invited Novice Nick and Michael over. Is like, we gotta, Chris, can you kind of get between them and make sure?
Chris
is chatting, by the way, I think.
Can I ask you a question? Chris, could you grow the mustache out? I think it's causing tension. But
Chris is chatting also. He's in the chat.
Yeah, he's like Zach Morris in the famous episode of Saved by the Bell. He's like, is this the only way I can talk to you in the chat? You know what I mean? He can't get a word in edgewise with
so now he's like,
and it's his father figure. Yeah, Royce in the house is his father figure.
Yeah, Royce in the house is his dad.
It's actually
the top 50 drummers.
He's grooming him to take over the YouTube channel.
Yes, and that's why Michael has an issue with him as well, because he knows that he is, next up to this throne that he's fighting for, and currently, like, he has the people. Michael has the people.
Yeah.
It
is. Yeah. It's like what happened to Bernie Sanders when they were just like, Novice Nick is voting for Michael Noland. I'm sorry, man. He doesn't want to.
Yeah, Novus Nick is definitely he's a pawn. No, Novus Nick, it's tough to say if he's pulling the strings or if there's someone above him that's
He's a
pulling the strings.
pawn. He's a pawn.
I don't know. I don't want to say that
Canadian.
yet. I don't want to say that yet. But I mean, he to me, I think he's a very strong figure. Novus Nick. Listen. I've been a day one Novus Nick supporter. I've been singing his praises to everybody at the grocery store, the mall. They don't got a clue what I'm talking about.
I'm saying that, like, so Canadian Gervais is he's definitely in line for the Royce spot, but Michael, like,
But
Michael has Novus Nick.
He grew up with his mom, though. He grew up with his mom, and Royce has just recently re-entered his life. So that you have to keep in mind.
Yeah.
In rock and roll will blow your freaking mind if you saw him drum live. You'd go, how can he do that? So Ginger Baker isn't ranked very low, and neither is Neil Peart. You know, if they're in my top 10, Royce, they're damn good drummers.
I'm sure, Michael. Yeah, I mean, if they're
oh my god, he's like, no, they aren't. Anyone who's lucky enough to make my top 10, it's not like some fucking idiot top 10 who only knows what, maybe 100 drummers. I know 1,000 drummers. Like, that's what he's saying, that his list is like more important than everyone's because of his knowledge.
My top 10's great. It's a guy explaining that his 4.5-star wrestling match is just it's as good as a lot of guys 5-star.
I promise you, if Neil Peart found out he was number 9 on my list and number 4 on your list, he would value the 9 on my list much more.
Is one of my favorite lyricists, by the way, too.
No, okay. Well,
I don't see him as just a drummer.
Is from a
Ooh, did you see the way Michael sat back and then looked back at his phone? Look at this. It's hideous.
It's hideous. Obvious pube on sync, subscribing tier 1 5 months. Thank you.
Watch only Michael after he makes this point.
Neil Peart is one of my favorite lyricists.
Watch him. Here he goes.
No, okay. Well,
I don't see him as just a drummer.
Is from a very
Novus Nick is down there like, haha, you fucking boob. What are you talking about?
The way Michael sat back.
P. Wallington subscribing with Prime. Yeah, that was a
phone, and then he goes like this.
Yeah, he's not doing anything on the phone, by the way. He's just he finished his thing and he knew it didn't hit that hard. He wanted to hit way harder, and then he's just like texting the rock and roll guys about rock and roll.
Look at his hands. Watch his hands as he texts here.
I don't see him.
Hold on. I'm going to put it on 0.5 so we can watch his hands while he texts because it's so slow. Or it's feels fake.
I don't even consider him just a drummer. You're an idiot. Everyone does.
Okay. Here we go.
Just a drummer.
Is from a very early age. I'm a teenager. I'm 15, 16 years.
Buddy, his little after he said that thing, self-satisfied, definitely.
He feels so good about his and he just made Royce's top 5 look like dog shit.
I'll be like, this is like,
and Novus Nick is like, I gotta get out of this frame. Like, he's always like
he's just like the guy, you like see all these like heavy duty, like old school style gamer nerds or whatever. And then there's just this like one guy who comes in and he's got like a long leather jacket and long hair. And he's just like, hello, everybody. Let's assemble around this game now. And they all just kind of like, he's like, thinks of it. He's like made himself into the king of them. That's kind of what Nolan has done here, but it's not going to last. Yeah. Billy Mitchell, exactly.
We should go on Royce's site so we can see these What's this?
Now, wait, where did Michael go?
Hold on. Let's
What's going on here?
Okay.
Back it up.
Here we go. All right, here we go.
We didn't. Nobody said rock drummers.
Whoa,
I know
whoa,
it was insinuated,
go back. Do not. I don't want to be. That's not fair. You're gonna play all of Nolan shit, and I don't get to see any Novus Nick. You know I'm
Here
a
goes
Novus Nick
Novus.
head.
Here goes Novus.
Mitch Mitchell from the Jimi Hendrix Experience.
It's so funny. They're still saying like Mitch Mitchell from the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Like they're still saying names.
Yeah, he's a drummer for sure.
No, that's a
I would say
drumming.
he's maybe number 27 on my list. What the
And
fuck? Who gives
Seven
a
on
shit?
my list.
Who gives a shit? Oh, 27? No, I wouldn't have him that high. I'd have him 35, perhaps.
Jimmy was the star of that band. Probably could have played the drums himself. Really. This is
Honestly,
kind
the
of thing they'd
drummer
say.
from the Jimi Hendrix band, I know him more as a lyricist.
Mitch Mitchell is Jimmy's best drummer, okay? Somebody in the chat, Parenti had 427. Mitch Mitchell wasn't even Jimmy's best drummer. Listen, let me explain something. Mitch Mitchell was the only drummer he knew because he Googled Jimi Hendrix Experience.
Yeah.
So he could find the drummer. He's like, there can't be that many drummers.
Mitch Mitchell is the best drummer. He was Jimi Hendrix's best drummer as well, in my opinion. I'm sorry.
No.
Hey, no. If you want to talk about it, that's fine. You can have your opinion. I am actually quite impressed that you are so committed to being wrong, and I actually appreciate that.
You're a steadfast commitment to being wrong. Yeah, and you know, and Mitch Mitchell, I mean, nobody ever says this, but he was inspired by Elvin Jones, who's the drummer for John Coltrane.
Yeah.
You know,
you're reading stuff now.
Mitchell was inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in '92.
It's just changing the inflection a little bit. 92. Like it's
That's called acting.
I mean, this is a guy who was inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in '92. Like saying it, like changing the inflection in a way that's like so unnatural for the sentence that you're saying. You're trying to overdo it.
Sounds like you're making a point. It's just a factor.
It sounds like you're making a point or rebuffing someone or whatever, and you're just like saying a fact about him.
And I say that only because he didn't get into the Modern Drummer Hall of Fame until 2009.
Mm-hmm. No.
I'm reading the AI overview of Mitch Mitchell, so it could be also wrong.
Yeah, it's often wrong, the AI.
Yeah, you'll get to hear some of that on a.
He's showing up now around 6 or 7, and I'm really happy to see that because he deserves it. Imagine keeping up with Jimmy.
He's top 10. He's top 10 for me at least.
Buddy Rich.
Yeah.
Art Blakey.
Gene Krupa, if you're going to go that far back, Nick.
Oh, Gene Krupa.
The drummers, I mean.
Oh, yeah. Those are
Gene Krupa can give
Krupa,
John
Buddy
Bonham
Rich.
a run for his money, baby.
And
Yeah.
Buddy-
Oh, who are you calling baby? I don't know you like that. Don't talk to me that way. I feel like uncomfortable when you call me that.
The way they're far away, where they can go, like I said, baby.
Yeah, that's you're absolutely right.
King Koopa could give Gene Baker a run for their money any day of the week.
Yeah, I do appreciate Novus Nick bringing the jazz guys in there. Novus Nick showing he's a little bit more cultured. I'm thinking that he might imbibe actually Novus Nick.
Well, I want to know what's in his background. This American flag game, like, is he like a?
Oh, it's
collector?
wrong. Oh, okay, yeah. I guess it's make somebody bad to like the place they were born.
No, I'm saying what's in it. It looks like a DVD or VHS.
Rich might possibly beat him if that.
Buddy Rich. Yep. But if you're going to go outside of rock and roll, there's some very serious contenders for the number one spot.
Yeah,
we
said drummers. We didn't. Nobody said rock drummers.
Right.
I know it was insinuated, but
another point.
Oh, Michael Lee!
64.
Michael Lee!
Michael's like, I'm not even gonna listen to this guy. I'm not even
not
gonna.
John Entwistle was every bit as good a bassist.
Oh, never.
Her
No, he just turned his
He
camera off.
turned his camera off. It's just funny that Novus Nick just destroyed everybody, by the way. Novus Nick might be the king of this stream.
He's powerful. He's the biggest threat to Michael, no doubt about it, at this time. He has
He's
the
the biggest
most
threat to
power.
Royce, to tell you the truth.
Well, yeah, but we all know Michael's running the show. Like Royce might be at his name is on it or whatever, but Michael's running the show.
Yeah, I guess Novus Nick, Royce, and Chris together could usurp.
Yeah, no, people are really on Novus Nick's side of the chat. Novus is untouchable. Novus Nick is absolute goat. He has some
doing
serious
good.
dad energy. I mean, one thing he has going for him is that he's so weird looking.
That's
That helps him. That helps him a lot, in a battle with Michael, who's like, hey, I'm the weird looking guy. And it's like Novus Nick's like, what if I looked weird in a different kind of way, though?
How do I zoom in on Royce in that? Can you see this? God, he's so cool with it.
Yeah, Novus Nick. That's I think the first time I saw him, he looks like a Granny. He looks like Granny. Oh, Granny brought over one of her bridge friends. It's Novus and Novus Nick, her bridge friend. Yeah.
Trying to zoom. Zoom. Oh man, I can't do it. I'm trying to see.
So they were equals. That's why I always say what we were talking about before.
This motherfucker is peeing. Right.
He's you can see him, he's coming back now, but he does that weird thing. Sometimes he does this where he goes off camera, and I don't know what the reason for it is, why he's doing that, but he does it from time to time.
I'm gonna sub Royce up. I'm gonna give Royce a sub, and then next time we do this, we'll go to Royce's version of the thing. And see what it really looks like.
Yeah, I would like to see I would like to see the original footage here before Michael gets his hands on it. I think that he's doctored it. The Royce cut would be important to see.
I mean, I'd take the Novus Nick cut, but I think it's only a Royce cut or a Michael cut.
The Novus Nick cut is so fucked. It's like an anonymous video. You know what I mean? It's fucking scary shit. This guy is fucking dark. Don't kid yourself.
I mean, I've never seen anybody treat Michael like that.
What we got on the show is
Michael's shirt when he sits down, you really see he fills that thing out, eh? Whoo!
Funniest fucking shirt.
Doing it nasty style, subscribing tier 1. Thank you so
much. An incarnation of the Who without Daltrey, Moon, Entwistle, and Townsend. Right. So all the albums after Kenny Jones Be Damned are not true Who albums. So my whole point of view tonight, folks, will be coming from that point of view. And the reason
that's not a true album.
No, it's not a Who album.
I love to say that, that's not a true Who album. As soon as the people in the band that I liked left, then you can't consider it the Who anymore.
The guy that I like, the drummer,
and I think the panel kind of agreed with me pre-show, is that
big move. And I had brought this up before cameras were on, and everybody agreed with me. Like, what are they supposed to say now?
There are some bands, and Nick will bring this up even further. There are some bands.
Nick's like,
don't tell me what I'll bring up what I want to bring up. You fucking hair cave motherfucker. Like, I'll rip your fucking hair straight out of your head, dude. Like, he's thinking dark, nasty thoughts about Michael because he knows he's standing in his way.
He is. And he knows Michael's a little bit cooler than Novus Nick. He's got the look and the style.
Listen, Novus Nick is not about being cool. He's not about being cool. He's about obtaining and utilizing power. That's how he thinks.
That are defined by their very members, and you can't fool with them.
So,
Now, Nick, maybe you would bring that up further because you had a good point on why certain bands like Led Zeppelin, no Bonham, no Led Zeppelin, no Ringo, no Beatles, no Moon, no Who, and you had this great theory, and I concur with this. Let everybody know why certain bands, as opposed to like bands like Yes, who change members like
Okay,
they
maybe
change
shut up
socks.
and let him say the thing.
Right?
Yeah,
I love this whole thing.
I love this whole thing.
I love this whole thing.
I love this whole thing. I love the.
I want everyone to know that this next thing, this has got the Nolan signature of approval on it.
I didn't want people to think because it was coming out of Novus Nick's mouth that I didn't agree with it.
This
Members
is something that
like
I
they
could have
change
come up
socks,
with
right?
Yeah,
I love
some
this
bands,
whole thing.
Some
I love
bands,
this whole thing.
I
as
love this whole
fans,
thing.
we
Oh,
give them the opportunity.
We got full screen.
So he's hacked into the mainframe. Novus Nick is inside the mainframe now, and he's taking it over the call.
Novus mode.
Novus. Now,
Novus.
Novus has
This
got
is-
Novus with an insane television setup that has curtains on it. You see those curtains in front of it?
Oh no, no! There, you think it's curtains because like he the lighting?
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. The curtains are behind it. You think? Oh yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah,
you're
behind
right.
it.
You're
Okay.
right. No, it's not a greasy window. There's stuff. It's
Could
not
be a
just a
greasy
window. It's
window.
not. There's something
Some
playing
people
on it.
grease
Why?
up their windows because
No,
they don't want
there's
anybody
something
seeing.
playing on it. He has like a football game on or something.
Oh,
Press play. Press play. Watch. See?
Some bands to change as they go, and that's part of their normal flow. They started off like that, and they continued on like that. But some of the great legends, it starts on this date with this people.
No, I'm telling you.
and
Can
it
you
ends on
pause it? I'm telling you, he has curtains in front of his television. That picture is going in behind those curtains, and he has absolutely a big screen television with curtains that he can pull in front of it.
and listen,
That's such a sick move, dude.
I don't know why. Maybe it's a smaller mobile home he's in.
Oh, yeah, it probably is.
Got that door right there. I'll recognize that door anywhere as a man who lived in a couple of mobile homes.
Is it normal? Is it a normal move in a mobile home?
No.
Why would it be normal in a mobile home? I just turned your TV off.
Small.
I don't understand. Why would it make sense anywhere? You just turn the TV off and it doesn't have any. What would be the purpose of it? I guess just because you don't want to have your television showing or whatever. Like, I kind of get it.
Well, yeah, but then what's the Well, I guess it looks like you got a window there. So it's like, open the window. No.
Well, then I guess maybe you just, if somebody really presses you on it, you just got to make sure you got like an outside scene, like a really cool scene on the TV, and you open it up. It's like outside.
this date with the death of any particular member, and that's it. Like Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin isn't 3 plus another person, or it just the Beatles aren't 3 plus another person.
No,
as the switches in. We don't allow that as fans, but other bands we do allow. Like
we don't allow that shit.
What do you mean?
In the brotherhood of fans?
You're telling me if John Lennon had not been killed and Paul McCartney, George Harrison's still alive, you're telling me that like they continued to tour and they decided to get rid of Ringo Starr from the band as the drummer. They brought in a different like famous drummer or whatever. You'd be like, well, I'm not going to go watch that shit.
Well, as a person from the brotherhood of fans, the same brotherhood of fans that Novus Nick stands up for, I say yes.
Yeah, that's true. They replace, but that was the one they like is with Ringo.
Yeah,
people die as well. What are they? So hang on a second. Yeah. So if somebody
Van Dover,